In dramatic video footage from the Black Sky drone unit, part of the Ukrainian National Guard's Spartan assault brigade, we witness a terrifying and highly precise retaliation. Each explosion is not just an attack. It is a direct response to every missile and bomb Russia drops on the heads of Ukrainian civilians. The aggressor's civilian infantry who dared invade our land is reduced to dust and smoke under the wings of the kamikaze FPV drone. Here is a detailed reconstruction of each attack based on the original footage, presented in the style of a vivid and gripping military report. The footage opens with a drone view gliding low over a vast expanse of dry farmland. A Russian soldier in full camouflage, carrying an assault rifle, races frantically through tall grass on a motorcycle. The Black Sky drone pursues him like a bloodthirsty hawk, its target clearly visible, an enemy infantryman seeking cover behind an old utility pole. Within seconds, the drone dives sharply. The first explosion shakes the ground. A small flame shoots out, followed by thick black smoke, and the soldier is thrown back, his body burning. For every missile that hits a civilian home, the video's unspoken narration says, we respond with even faster fire. The camera shifts to hillier terrain. Two Russian soldiers are seen running down the slope, trying to avoid the drone that is already directly above them. One of them aims his weapon skyward, attempting to shoot down the drone with his assault rifle. But it's too late. The Black Sky drone locks onto its target with its cold white reticle, and the second explosion occurs right in the middle of the group. The soldier is thrown into the air, his weapon flying, and the dry grass around him instantly catches fire. The footage clearly shows how this drone strike halts the advance of enemy infantry as they attempt to approach the Ukrainian position. One of the most dramatic moments in the video is a Russian military motorcycle speeding down a dirt track in the middle of a field. Suddenly, a drone swooped in from behind, and the third explosion hit the motorcycle directly. Bright red flames blazed, thick black smoke billowed into the cloudy sky, and the soldier on the motorcycle was thrown far away, his body burning fiercely. Footage captured the moment the flames engulfed both vehicle and man. This was clear evidence that even light vehicles are not safe from the precision of the Spartan drone. One attack, one vehicle destroyed, and another failed Russian infantry attack. The terrain now wider and foggier, the drone soared high and then dove vertically. The white crosshairs locked onto a Russian soldier running alone between power lines. The fourth explosion produced a large white smoke ball clearly visible from a height. Dust and dirt flew tens of meters, and the soldier vanished in a cloud of smoke. The footage demonstrated how capable the Black Sky drone was of operating in low visibility conditions, hunting targets trying to hide in open terrain. Ukrainian troops in March in battles across the Russo-Ukraine War's 1,200-kilometer, 745-mile, fighting front scored a net gain of 27 square kilometers, 10.4 square miles, more ground recaptured from Russian forces. For the first time since at least October, a March 31st review published by the Washington, D.C.-based Institute for the Study of War said, the finding that Ukraine has actually shifted combat dynamics to the point where its forces have the initiative and are making net ground gains against Russia was noted by Ukraine's army commander, General Alexander Syrsky, in comments to ICTV television on Tuesday. In an hour-long interview, Syrsky said that since late January, his troops have been advancing slowly but continuously, with local counterattacks in the southern Olesandrivka-Zaporizhia sectors, scoring the biggest successes. Success lies precisely in the liberation of territory as of today. This amounts to 480 square kilometers, 185 square miles, liberated since January. This exceeds the results we achieved during the Dobropilya counter-offensive operation in 2025, Syrskyi said in part. March 2026 is the second month in a row that Russia has lost more territory than it has gained in Ukraine, which the Kremlin invaded in February 2026. Currently, Russia occupies about 20% of Ukrainian sovereign territory. The last time Ukraine forces managed 2 months of net ground gains subsequently was in July and August 2025, when Ukraine invaded Russia and temporarily occupied about 1,300 square kilometers, 502 square miles, a land space about the size of Rome, Italy, or San Antonio in the US, of Russia's western Kursk region. Currently, Ukrainian forces are counterattacking primarily to prevent Russian forces from taking the initiative and executing concentrated offensives themselves, and to inflict losses to wear the enemy down, Syrskyi said. Our goal for this year is, of course, to conduct a strategic defensive operation aimed at containing the enemy, preventing the loss of territory, exhausting their forces and means, creating conditions for large-scale offensive operations, building up our reserves, providing high-quality training for servicemen. At the same time, Ukrainian troops conducting counter-offensive actions in those directions where the enemy is weak. The purpose is once again to liberate territory and, most importantly, to maintain operational and strategic initiative, he said. The more conservative Ukraine-based Deep State Research Group, in its review of movement of battle lines over March, and published on April 1st, calculated Russian forces over the past month had captured 160 square kilometers, 62 square miles, more than they had lost. However, cautioned readers that some Russian advances spotted were not confirmed gains and possibly were temporary. Meanwhile, there was no immediate direct reaction by the Kremlin to Syrskyi's and Ukrainian claims that Russia is, marginally, losing ground in Ukraine. Reports from the field generally matched a picture of a generally static front, but with sometimes violent small-scale Ukrainian advances and flashes of intense fighting in the southern sectors, sharply contradicting Peskov's claim of Kremlin forces gaining ground across the front. One of the better documented recent engagements was a local attack by the 425th Assault Regiment, Skelya, a spearhead formation that has been at the forefront of Syrskyi's counterattacks. In a March 31st battle documented by video and 2 Ukrainian sources, a 20 to 30-man attack element from the 425th used armored vehicles to assault Russian positions near the village of Hirshin, losing 2 men, killed, 1 tank and 3 lighter armored vehicles to Russian drones in the process. Serhiy Sternenko, a military affairs advisor to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, criticized the action as too costly for ground gained. A statement published by the 425th Regiment said the operation was properly planned and executed, that the regiment's aggressive tactics get results, and that particular